Now, here's something. We can save this appraise software to come up on your screen in the same spot every time. So I'm going to put it here. Here it says Save Form Position.
Yep.
I click there, okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Now, just here on the main screen, we have something called Contact Us. If you click here, it shows you how to get technical support. It shows you how to get additional products and services, and it shows you our website. So that button is there, okay? Appraise Plus, which I won't click on, lets you have access to our capital change and cost basis database. So if that's a service you need to add at some point, we have that information, all right?
Okay.
What I'd like to do with a new user is start on System Setup. These are the parameters of the program, and I suggest when you're in there you start on these. So we'll start here. We assigned you a client number. We have a client name. You can put in whatever name you want here. We put in ESI Appraise. Actually, there's a typo there. Let's correct that. So you can see how it works. Actually, but just watch me correct the typo. Okay, good. Then we have accrual method. You can accrue up to and including or up to and not including. For Ginny Mays and CMOs, you have a choice of putting on the face, in which case we'll amortize it. Or if you have the amortized already for your par value, then we won't do it. So it's F for face or P for principal pay down. Okay, you see that?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm going to put it back here on face. Okay. Then we're going to go here. We have here enter check digit. The date name. Common trust funds are an old feature. This is from when banks used to do that, in essence, their own mutual funds. Now most people buy mutual funds. Accrue non-price issues means if we're unable to price it, occasionally we can't price a thinly traced muni or something like that. You have a choice to say I do or don't want to price it or accrue it. So I set it for no. I have it set to automatically adjust for stock splits. I'm saying don't run in IRS mode. I'm saying for municipal bonds, use the mean price. You could also use the bid price, depending on the setting you pick. For farm bonds, I'm saying you input in U.S. dollars and we'll apply the exchange rate. And this directory is where the appraise executable is located, and this directory is where the data directory is located. Pretty straightforward?
Okay. Yep.
All right. Click on printing. Couple tabs here. Print ESI says put our name on the bottom of the report. Print estimated bill. If you'd like an estimated bill, it would print off there. What it doesn't take into account is if you run enough volume, you'll get a volume discount. The estimated bill will not know the volume discount in advance. Print after receive says you can have the choice to go right to the printer when you get back a portfolio from valuation. Print processing date puts the processing date on the report. So if you have multiple iterations of the report, you know which one is the most current. Maximize screens makes the screen bigger. And autosave we have here, which means as you create your portfolios, it'll automatically save them. So if you lose power or something, you won't lose the entire portfolio. Any questions?
Okay.
For each of these buttons, I'm sorry?
I said not yet.
For each of these buttons, you'll see on the bottom, see the red type in the white screen?
Yeah.
So you don't need to remember everything I told you. It's in the manual, which is downloadable from the website. And there's also brief instructions in red letters on the white screen on the bottom. Do you see those?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Click on Done. Now, let's go into estate and gift tax, which is where you're going to spend the majority of your time. We're going to create a new portfolio, and I'll call it Sample Portfolio. Very creative name, you must say, right?
Yes.
And then we need a state name. So I'll have, how about D? Deceased. All right? Date of death. I'm going to do an old one here because it shows some of the reporting features of the application. So I'm going to do 06/01/2011. Now I'm going to stop typing in. I'm going to put in QSIP or ticker. We suggest, whenever possible, to use a QSIP, but sometimes a ticker can mean different issues on different exchanges. A CUSIP is always referencing an individual issue. All right? So I'm going to start with this. Oops. No, I thought the numlock wasn't on. Now it is. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Put in my check digit. And I was saying I typed in the wrong check digits. Let's see. I'm showing here 912-795. Okay. And then let's say for shares we had 10,000. Oh, see, here's a good thing. Here's a good catch. I put in the wrong ticker. Let's put in the shares. My mistake. Save portfolio. I want to edit this. So that check digit was right. I put in the wrong CUSIP number. I expected to put in a number 6. And that's how it worked. So you see how I did that? I made a mistake. I saved portfolio, went in and I corrected it. And I'm going to click on Add Security and keep on going.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, this time I got it right. Okay, we're going to do about 10 securities here to cover a whole gamut of issues. Hopefully you type much quicker than I do. Uh, 46428. Yep. Okay. These are all different types of securities. You can put in fractional shares. You see how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Almost there. Now, just for example, I'm going to use the ticker symbol here, okay, which is Bank of America.
Yep.
Are you one of those folks who just knows these tickers right off the top of your head?
I know some.
Do you? That's great. If they had a Trivial Pursuit for ticker symbols and CUSIP numbers, there's folks here would be phenomenal. Okay. Let me check here. Good. I think that's what I wanted to input. So now I'm going to click on Save Portfolio. Cancel. I could have done cancel adding securities as well, but I like to make sure I always click on Save, okay? And look at this screen like a dashboard of a car, and everything you need to do is either on the left or on the right or the pull down. So I'm going to do I'm going to do Price Portfolio. Ready? Send for pricing. And now we wait here. And this is our little screen that shows you what's going on. And it just reminds people that it's a 128-bit secure connection. So the data which we send, although there's nothing there that's in any way gives identification to who the client is still totally 100% secure. Click on Download Complete. Now we can click on View Portfolio. Now we have some estate view defaults. You can have an orientation of portrait or landscape. I like landscape because it gives a little more space to work with. Here's the report types. You can have estate tax valuation, portfolio valuation, which in instance would be if someone wasn't dead. You don't want to say estate of. Distribution report. You can do a gift tax valuation. You can do a valuation with no security value, no principal. You can do a CRUT report, a child remainder unit trust. You can do a grant report with principal only, or a grant report with accruals. We also have the choice to sort by no sort, CUSIP number, security typing CUSIP number, and sort by description. I'm going to click on View, Save Default, say Yes. Now, if I double click on this little banner up here, see how it fills up the whole screen?
Yep.
And we can see the whole report. So we have here ESI appraised, estate tax securities valuation, name of the state, deceased, count of sample portfolio. Okay, and then I can look here. So we have here, by just putting the mouse on the screen and moving, I can move the whole screen. So issue 1 was U.S. Treasury bill. Okay. We have the security value. Issue 2 was a Treasury note, and we show the accrual. Issue 3 is a New York State. We have security value and accrual. Number 4 was an iShares, and we show the dividend added to the mean price. Number 5 was a Vanguard. Number 6 was a unit investment trust that had the carryover accrual added in. Number 7 was a fund. Number 8, there goes Bank of America with the dividend. And number 9 is a Ginnie Mae. We have the CMO paydown factor. We show the interest. Click on next page. And this is a Fannie Mae with the CMO and the interest payout. Okay. We have here total accrual, total security value, and you get 109.042. And you can see how the paydown factor works. You know, this is 1,000 times the price of 1.047216. You expect it to be a bigger number, but because of the paydown factor, we end up with a smaller security value.
Okay.
Any questions? Any questions?
Nope.
Going to click on next page. This is what we call our supplemental report. If there's any information here that we think would be of value to you but is not required on the 706, we put it on this page. We tell you UIT, we tell you there's a pay down factor, okay? And up here you can either print this page, print all pages, you can size up, size down, you go straight to the totals page, okay? Is that pretty self-explanatory?
Yeah.
Click on Finished. Okay, click on Finished again. A couple other features I want to show you. So this is something called the memo file. This is, in essence, like an electronic Post-it note. And it says, you know, dear coworker. I'm sorry, my cap lock is on. Dear coworker. Say you're sharing this with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Please take a closer look at how item 10, whatever it is. It could be anything you want. Okay? Oops. There we go. Now I'm going to click on Update Memo File. Click on View Portfolio. View again. Now watch this. We're going to go to, we had 3 pages before. We're going to go 1, 3, 4, and this is the memo file. So you can constantly put notes on here. People can delete notes. You can have an ongoing conversation with someone about a particular portfolio, or even to the client if you want them to notice something in particular.
Okay.
Any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay, finished. Now, suppose later you came back and said, oh, I put in the wrong shares. So I'm going to click on item number 3, shares. I'm going to change it to 30,000. You don't need to reprice the portfolio. It just adjusts the security value. When you look at it, it'll have the correct security value. Suppose someone comes in later and says, oh, I need to add a security. Right here. Let's say someone had Southwest Airlines, Love, and they had 1,000 shares. Okay? Enter. Save portfolio, cancel adding. Price portfolio. Send for pricing. So originally we sent 10 items for pricing. Now we're sending 1 item for pricing.
Okay.
We'll get that back in a few moments. We'll take a look at the report. And it'll show us if there was any dividends. Okay, we're back. Click on View Portfolio. Go quick. And I'm going to page down a little bit. Okay, next page. See we added Southwest Airlines?
Yeah.
Okay. Previous page, we changed the shares to 30,000. Okay. Click on Finished. Click on Finished. And that's the whole process to create a data depth
Okay.
Okay?